as far as speed, revenue, all those things. You know? So
yeah.
in our mind, it's grow all these businesses at all costs, all the time, no matter what it takes, right? I think like a true, like thoroughbred entrepreneur, that's their mindset all the way through. Right. Even the people who have made it.
But yes, that's all true. I do think that there is value in relaxing, spending time with yourself, spending time with your partner. And I think there's those times where you're at your most peace and at your most relaxed is when your best thoughts come in.
Yeah.
It's called a vacation.
It's vacation, or
just like a walk at night, going out to dinner.
Exactly. Like there is times to separate yourself from the business because it is more beneficial for your business. Because again, your thoughts and all these different creative ideas happens typically when you remove yourself from the clutter. So there is obviously there's a balance, I guess.
Yes, and that comes with, you find a daily routine where you can set your brain, whether it's you're meditating in the morning, you're going to the gym.
Yep.
Like that was the other thing I changed. Like even when I was like really big, I wouldn't sacrifice I would sacrifice anything for like the work or the job or whatever. I would be on the job. Like when we were building the new trade building, I remember I was there on site every day at like 7 a.m. Like just there ready to go with all the plumbers, electricians to get that job done. But that meant I stopped going to the gym. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't doing that stuff. So I remember midway during that job, I'm like, I'm not going there before 9 because I have to go to the gym in the morning, right? Or else if I don't sacrifice that, so a bunch of people would call me and say, can you meet me on site at 8 or 8:30 or 7:30? I'd be like 9. And every time they would be like, okay, I'll see you at 9.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit, this actually works.
Yeah.
That's a great point too.
So like I set that time in the morning for me to because if not, I was going. It's that thing where if you don't, like on a plane, they tell you got to put the mask over yourself before you help the person next to you.
That's a really good point too.
So you have to do that part of it. I'm not saying just be a savage, right? And just work all day, all night, and never even take
unless you can do that, and you don't need to go to the gym. And
yeah, exactly.
But every person's different. Like
it depends on your skill set too.
Right.
People are just like built different.
Right. There's people who could just go all day and night. Like look at fucking Trump, dude. Like that guy doesn't even take a shit.
I know.
It's crazy. I've never seen a motor.
I use him as motivation all the time for like all the shit that we're going through and all the battles we're fighting left and right. That guy has callus. That guy can fight through anything. That guy
doesn't sleep.
And he doesn't sleep.
And he doesn't eat. He eats McDonald's and shit.
Yeah,
so
McDonald's.
He's changing. He lost
Diet Cokes. I'm going to start drinking. You know what? I'm going McDonald's and Diet Coke.
Yeah, there's a McDonald's around the corner.
Yeah, that's not going to work out well.
I was a big
Let me try.
guy.
We should do like a little experiment.
No, I think he stopped doing that.
See what happens.
No,
I think he's lost weight. Like apparently, his doctor.
When I was at that lunch with him, he had about 8 Diet Cokes.
Yeah, maybe not Diet Cokes, but I think he cleaned up his diet. They were saying.
What's in Diet Coke that makes people addicted?
Chemicals.
Kristen has like 14 a day.
Chemicals. It's just like chemical fake shit.
I love a nice DK.
I guess.
DC.
Anyway, what's the next question?
That was tough. That was
DK?
tough. I think one
Can
point
you cut
on
that out, the DK?
No, we're keeping that. We're keeping that in there just so people know.
Next question.
No, on to one last point there. We just filmed an episode with Craig Ballantyne. He talked about his book, The Perfect Day, The Perfect Week. That book literally outlines that idea right there in a systematic format. He like, in his book essentially is like you build your calendar around like your family life. So just like your game, my son's game's at 12 o'clock. Okay, that's on Saturday. But then everything else filled, you put those events on the calendar. Jesse Itzler is another person that has it. He has his like big ass calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Like put these milestone things on the calendar just so you have in place and then add that shit in because we talked about another episode too. If you don't do that shit, then you're just gonna fill it up with other shit and then you're gonna be like, what? I don't spend time with my kids. My relationship sucks. It's because you didn't actually like take that time and like map out that calendar. So just wanted to plug Craig Ballantyne there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's something that I think we learned, especially me and Luch over the past year, is like micromanaging versus task-oriented production. Right, Luch? Like just talking about like, I don't care if you're necessarily like boots on the ground, 9 to 5, whatever, but as long as you're getting the work done, you're outperforming your KPIs and you're outperforming your numbers and your tasks.
That's something that's taken a long time to do.
Oh, just like
you in general.
to swallow?
Yeah, like
I can't. I'm a principal guy, dude. I cannot. It took me a while, but now that I'm on the other side of it.
No, right. No, now it's
because it also creates a good environment, a good culture. It's like we get shit done, period, end of story.
Right.
You know, if I'm doing this or doing that, at the end of the day, I know I trust my teammate
right.
that he's getting this or she's getting this done.